but it's just something that been like resonating in my spirit, and kind of piggybacks to Bible study, just preparation for Bible study, stuff that I was just meditating on, getting a spiritual download, just getting some spiritual insight. And I kind of shared it during our prayer time this morning before we transition into worship. Awesome service. God has just been blessing. I know God is blessing everywhere, but I have to speak on behalf of also our ministry. God is just blessing. He's doing what he's doing. Greatly appreciate the move of God. But this thing keeps resonating in my spirit. And what's resonating in my spirit, and I've talked about it at Bible study, shared it this morning, it's just been in my spirit that you have to press in the midst of the press. You have to press in the midst of the press. You know, this is just inspirational moment, encouraging moment, uplifting moment, speaking life into you moment. It just really resonates in my spirit about you have to press in the midst of the press. And I've been using the woman with the issue of blood, and that thing has just really ministered to me over the years. There's a lot in it, but one of the things that I often share when I talk about press in the midst of the press is that this woman with the issue of blood had this condition 12 long years, la da 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 da, all that good stuff. And she had to press in the midst of the press. In other words, she had to press her way through in the midst of the press. The press that was amongst her was the crowd. Her goal was to get to Jesus. That was her ultimate goal. She wanted to get to Jesus. And so she had to press in the midst of the press. In other words, the only way she can get her healing, the only way she can get her breakthrough, whatever she was looking for, that the doctors, couldn't give her the right medicine, whatever the case, to heal her, whatever the case may be, but she had to press in the midst. She had to press through the crowd to get what she needed. And I was talking about it this morning, and it really resonated in my spirit to keep somebody encouraged that, this is a season that you have to press in the midst of the press. Now, it may not be a crowd that you're dealing with. Your press is what it is. It could be a financial situation. It could be whatever situations you're dealing with in your life, but you have to press in the midst of the press. Everybody's press is different. For the woman with the issue of blood, the press for her was the crowd. She had to press through the crowd to get to Jesus, to get her healing. And she had to reach up to get her healing. But for you, listen, whatever your press is, whatever it is, you have to press your way through. I was talking about it this morning because we were talking about ushering in the presence of God. And oftentimes we have to press through. And I talked about it at Bible study. And listen, we got a powerful Bible study coming up on this week. But we talked about the press and how we had to press through the flesh. Oftentimes, our flesh does not want to worship. It's bad enough the enemy does not want us to worship, but our flesh does not want us to worship. In other words, in your flesh, the natural, the carnal part of you does not want to submit to the will of God. And so the Bible talks about the flesh is enmity to the spirit. And so sometimes you have to press through the press. You have to press through your flesh, even when you don't feel like worshiping God, even when you don't feel like serving God, even when you don't feel like living for God, and it seems like all things around you is falling apart. Understand that the only way you're going to get what you need from God, you're going to have to press in the midst of the press. Listen, you have to press your way through. You have to press your way through, and you're going to have to press beyond how you feel. See, sometimes you may not feel like worshiping God. Sometimes you may not feel like serving God, but you're going to have to press in the midst of the press. You're going to have to press beyond how you feel, and understanding that whatever I need, the only way I can get it, I'm going to have to press my way through. I'm going to have to push my way through. I'm going to have to praise God all the way through. I'm going to have to pray my way through. I'm going to have to keep pressing until I get what I need. And this is the only way you can receive what you're looking for from God. Everybody is looking for God. Everybody is desiring something from God, whether it's a healing, whether it's deliverance, whatever is transformation, whatever you are looking for, whatever you are desiring and looking for God to do, you have to press yourself. In other words, I can't push you through. I can pray for you. I can encourage you. I can give you some spiritual insight. But the reality of it is the only way you're going to get what you need from God, you have to press through the obstacles, the challenges. You have to press through how you feel. Listen, press your way through to get what you need from God. God is looking for those who are thirsty and hungry for him. And when you're really thirsty and hungry for God, you will press your way through, just like that woman with the issue. She pressed her way through the press. She pressed her way through the crowd to get what she needed, but she understood that she had to press through. She had to press through. This is the only way. She had to press through. She had to push her way through. She had to keep pressing because she knew that Jesus had what she needed. She couldn't get it from the doctors, but she knew that her healing was in pressing through. So when you want to experience the glory of God, guess what you got to do? You got to press through. When you want to experience the healing and the manifestations of God, what do you got to do? You have to press through. To get better, you got to press through. To grow and mature, you got to press through. You're going to have to face the adversity and the obstacles that come with whatever this journey that God has us on, this journey of life, this journey of this Christian journey that you're on. Listen, you have to press your way through. And listen, transformation ain't going to happen until you press your way through. The difference of your life, it counts whether you press through or not. The reason why people ain't seeing change is because they want to keep doing the same thing and they're not willing to die to self and press their way through. They're not willing to go through the obstacles and challenges that's before them. You have to press through those because the pressing through is part of your making. The pressing through is part of your maturity. You have to press your way through to get to the other side. And what God has for you is on the other side, but you got to press your way through. You got to press through. And it's just been in my spirit, and and I just keep revisiting it because the reality of it is the only way I'm gonna get what I need from God, I got to press through. Got to press through. My change is in the pressing. The woman, she got healed when she pressed through. The woman, whatever she needed from the Lord, she got it when she pressed through. Whatever you need is in the press. Sometimes our faith will get tested. God will test our faith. The enemy will tempt us. The enemy will tempt us. The flesh, the carnal things is tempting, but the reality of it is God will test us at times. He wants to see how bad do we really want him. We talk a good game, but when it really comes to the point of pressing through, you have to get out of yourself because the pressing is beyond you. So if you stay carnal and you don't want to press your way through, you don't want to do what it takes. This really makes or breaks people in business. It makes or breaks people as far as their relationship with God. Are you willing to press through? Are you willing to do what it takes to get to the other side? Are you willing to do what it takes to get in his presence? That's what it's about. This is not business talk today and talking about life. No, I want to help you press your way through. I know there's challenges in front of you. I know there's obstacles in front of you, but you have the victory. You have what you need to press through. God is with you as you press through. He knows you're yearning for him. He knows that you desire a closer relationship. So then press your way through because he's going to be with you as you press through. So listen, be encouraged. I wanted to share this real quick inspirational moment about press through the press. Press in the midst of the press. Press in the midst of the press. And your press, everybody's press is different. For the woman with the issue of blood, her press was the crowd. She had to press through the crowd and she had to reach up to get what she needed. You have to press through the crowd and reach up. What is it that you need the Lord to do in your life? You have to press through and reach up. And that reaching up is worship to God. Sometimes you just got to lift your hands in the midst of the press. Sometimes you have to worship in the midst of the press so you can get what you need. Not just for now, but for your future. I said it this morning, oftentimes we only worship God enough to get what we need right now. But you have to not worship God just to get what you need right now. You have to worship God until you even we're thinking longevity. I got to worship now even for my future because of what I'm looking for God to do. Are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to forfeit? What is it that's hindering you from pressing through? What is it that's hindering you and stopping you from getting to the place that God is calling you to? That's what it's about. Getting to that place that God is calling us to. Are you willing to press through? So listen, be encouraged. Join us on this week for Bible study, 7 p.m. We're going to tap into the next part of the press, the stretching, and I believe the press, the stretching, and the pursuit. So this week, we're going to talk about stretching. The stretching is uncomfortable, but guess what? It's worth it. So listen, be encouraged. Tune in at 7 p.m. this Thursday, 7 p.m. You don't want to miss this Bible study. If you missed the first Bible study, you need to tune in to last week's Bible study because we talked about the press. But this week, we're going to talk about stretching, and stretching could be uncomfortable, but it's worth being stretched. So listen, be encouraged and continue to press through the press. I don't know what your press is, but the only way you're going to get to what God has for you, you have to press through the press. God bless you. Thank you, my YouTubers, for tuning in. Definitely subscribe. Definitely share this content with somebody that needs to press their way through to get to God and to get the things that they need. Be encouraged and tune in this week. God bless.